Hello and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I'm Michael Pinter, where I teach you how to start flipping or wholesaling houses in New York, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. So we're talking about what's the average real estate commission in New York. Now, obviously when it comes to dollars, this is going to vary greatly by area, right? If you're selling $10 million houses in East Hampton or $10 million apartments in Manhattan, you're going to have a lot more dollars than someone selling, selling smaller end deals. But as percentages, it also varies for the big ones. So I'm going to talk about what happens in my area. So what averages, right? Because again, I am a realtor, right? I do two things. I buy houses that need work, fix them up and sell them, or wholesale them, assign them. And I'm also a traditional realtor. So very often, I met with a seller yesterday who has no reason to sell to an investor. She's not in a rush, house in good shape, great area. It's actually a part of Wyandanch that's got in Half Hollow Hill School District, so it's close to Dix Hills, beautiful. And I told her, do not sell to an investor, me or anyone else. You'll leave at least $100,000 on the table. So I try to do what's in the seller's best interest. Now, what is the percentage? So the average percentage I see in Nassau and most of Suffolk is 4%. That is the average. I've seen 5, I've seen 4.5, I've seen 6. And I usually offer it at a bigger discount of 3 or 3.5% because I want to be least expensive. And because really the whole realty part of my business is secondary to my house flipping, right? The only reason I became a broker / realtor, I'm a broker, is because I had to sell my own houses and I just didn't want somebody else in control of that listing. I also didn't want to pay for somebody to list it, but I more importantly wanted to be in control of it. So I have a full-time dispositions manager who's great, and he really handles all the selling. And very often, if I do take a listing, it'll be for 3 or 3.5%. And additionally, if the buyer does not have his own agent, it'll be even less, and I'll charge like 2 or 2.5% because I don't have to split it with a buyer's agent. Just to explain how that works. All the commission comes from the listing agent, the person that's the seller's agent who lists the property. But if a buyer has an agent, then you have to pay that buyer's agent usually 50% of the commission. So if there is no buyer's agent, I'm willing to charge the seller less. That's not typical, but I do it because I just feel like it's not fair for me to make a lot more money just because I found the buyer without him having an agent. But again, that's open for discussion. So those are really the percentage I see in New York. Now in other states where there's smaller dollars amount, 6% is typical, and some are even 7%, but smaller dollar amounts. So I think we average about $10,000 to $12,000 on a listing, and I'm happy to take the listings again because I'm not doing the work. If I had to be at an open house, I probably wouldn't do it. So it's something we got to think. You got to think about if you're going to take it. But I believe everyone in this business should be licensed. Again, for 3 reasons. One of them we just discussed, but the main reason is to get access to the MLS, the multiple listing service. I can't believe how bad traffic is. It really sucks. I'm on my way to a seller appointment right now. I think I'm going to be on time, but it's just Southern State has been horrific lately. So the first reason to be licensed, that everybody who's flipping houses should be licensed, is A, to get access to the MLS, the multiple listing service. Now, can you, for $97 a month minus my discount, get access to PropStream? Yes. But is PropStream as good as multiple listing service? No. It's almost as good, but it's not as good. It's better than it was before, but it's not as good. MLS is the best way to comp properties to figure out values. So that's number one. Now, you may know someone who gives you access to MLS, so you may not need that, but the other 2 reasons are important too. One of them we just discussed. So the second reason is that you want to be able to list your own properties. That's what we discussed, right? So either a property you fix up or hotel that you're putting out to the public, or even a wholesale property you can list as a contract vendee. That means you're in contract. You're not allowed to represent that you own a property on the MLS that you don't, but you're allowed to list a property that you are in contract on. I have confirmed that with everyone. I know I'm going to get comments. I heard it's illegal. It's not illegal. It's perfectly fine. Now, the third reason why you might want to be licensed is, you want to take listings, right? So as I said, if you go on enough appointments, you're going to meet people who should not sell to an investor or who just don't want to sell to an investor. And there was miscommunication. People don't understand. I'm telling you, I've gone to several appointments. It's not been a lot, but it happens for a while. I've spoken to the borrower, and they're like, yeah, we want to sell to an investor. And then we get there, and they go, okay, I want to list it. It just happens. So I always take listing agreements with me when I go. And That's the third reason why you want to be licensed. Now, but here's a big thing. I speak to people all the time, and I want to really emphasize this point. It's important. You don't need to be licensed to be in the business. It's helpful for the 3 reasons I just told you, but it's not necessary. So I find, okay, I almost smashed that guy. I find people making endless excuses for why they don't start, right? And most of them are that I'm just going to take care of this. And I've spoken to dozens of people tell me, I just want to get licensed. I heard you said on YouTube we should get licensed. And I'm like, that's not a reason not to start. You don't need to be licensed. It's helpful, it's good, but you don't need to be licensed to flip or wholesale properties in New York. I think the only state that requires you to be licensed to wholesale properties is Illinois. That's it. So, how the hell did we get here from average real estate commission? Oh, so the average real estate commission. So in my area, it's typically 4%, 4 to 5%. I charge less. Every area is different. It's really easy. If you have MLS access, it's really easy to see. John with a question. Would love to see a video on the flip side. Why you shouldn't be licensed as an investor. Instead of doing a video, I have 3 more minutes to talk, and I'm going to tell you right now, there is no reason not to be licensed as an investor. Now, what I know that there is a school of thought that you shouldn't be licensed, and the school of thought is in certain states it's sort of frowned on that if you are a licensed agent and supposed to be acting as a fiduciary, in the client's best interest, then for you to go buy the property in any way, shape, or form, you are not acting in the client's best interest. And I say that is complete horseshit, and I would argue that anyone who says that does not understand how our business works. Everybody knows they can list a property. Everyone, right? There's no way somebody doesn't. They come to us to sell a property because they don't want to list it for whatever reason. Maybe the property sucks. Maybe they've had a bad experience before. Whatever it is. Okay. So, sorry about that. So that's one school of thought. The second school of thought is that, and I hate both of these things. I hate both these schools of thought. Is that you're supposed to sort of talk crap about listing agents and realtors when you go to a seller appointment. I think it's ridiculous, right? Let's be honest. 90% of all properties everywhere on average are going to sell listed on the market with an agent. So the idea that I'm going to say, oh, agents suck, you don't want to pay them, don't do it, is just absurd, right? It's absurd. It doesn't even make sense to me, right? I tell people all the time, I do 2 things. I buy properties, and I will also list properties for you if that's what you want and if that's in your best interest. So those school of thoughts, I've heard of them. So I've heard of people teaching, you don't want to always talk crap about the agents. It's foolish, right? It's just foolish. A lot of people are going to end up with agents. Some people are agents. I bought properties from people who are agents, or mothers are agents. You're going to talk crap about agents? It's ridiculous. So there is no reason not to be licensed. I can't, if no one's ever given me a compelling reason not to be licensed, right? Maybe there's a state, I don't know, maybe in the state of Mississippi or Alabama, if you are licensed and you buy a property, you can get sued. I don't know, but I know people that do this all over the place. And I know people who are licensed and who aren't licensed, but from my perspective, the way things work in New York, I can't imagine not being licensed is better than being licensed. John says, never heard of the second one, but have heard of the first one. Yeah, it doesn't really hold any water. Like, I don't see it. But again, if there are states that work that way, I've never experienced that firsthand. And I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And the way I sell, people know that they can list. So if you're an agent in a state where it's frowned upon for you, where it's seen as you're not acting in your fiduciary responsibility by buying the property, I would just get extra disclosure if you have to and say, hey, I understand that I could list this property, possibly make more money. I choose not to for whatever reason. I don't understand the whole thinking. So no, I don't. No one's ever made a compelling argument to me why they shouldn't be licensed. Again, maybe in other states it's easier to comp out properties, so the MLS component of it doesn't matter so much. I don't know. I haven't figured it out. But thank you, John, for your questions. Now, hopefully this was helpful. If you're interested in all the ways I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're interested in my course, go to howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. If you're interested in coaching, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you are watching on any platform, please give me a thumbs up. I really could use the likes. And what else? I'll keep the comments coming. I really appreciate the comments. If the comment's simple, I'll just reply to it with an answer. If it's a topic that I've covered in detail, on a previous video, I'll send you a link to the video, and if it's something new or something I haven't handled in a while, I will send you I'll make a new video for you. So I go live 5 times a week, and I really appreciate the comments. They give me food for thought and topics to cover. So thank you very, very much for watching. I really appreciate it.